that back. What is up, everybody? Another wonderful Monday night at Chewin the BBQ Fat. We are back. We are back. Finally, we're back. I tell you what, middle school baseball is over. Cole had a great season of middle school baseball, but we had a baseball game every Monday night. It was wild. But man, did I miss y'all? Did I miss seeing y'all? Did I miss everything that's been going on? Had more and more conversations about that judging class or conversation we had. I haven't forgot about it. We're going to bring that back. Don't you worry. That's coming back. Waiting on my man, Adam. I'm not sure if he's going to come on or not tonight. Who knows? But man, we are back and we're going to be rolling. Things are going in barbecue. Lots happening in barbecue since we've been gone or whatever for the past couple weeks. But man, I can't wait to talk about it. And tonight, you know, we don't mess around. We don't mess around. We come on our way back. We bring the who's who, and we talk about it. And we're going to talk about whatever you want to talk about tonight. Rod's coming on, and he's a great guy. Like I love our conversations that we have with Rod Gray. I mean, just a great guy, good friend, and I can't wait. It's going to be a great time. But anyway, so guys, that's where we've been. Leave a comment, share the page, like the page, and let's get rolling, man. Rod, how you doing?
I'm good, Brian. How are you?
Oh, man, I am wonderful. Rod, we've been doing baseball, middle school baseball for quite some time, and we're finally done. I finally have Mondays open again, and it's awesome. So glad
Did the new torpedo bats make it to middle school baseball yet?
Not yet, but you know, they make it the Braves. I did see where the Braves have ordered some. That torpedo bat is amazing in theory. I don't know why it's taken so long to get rolling with that.
They said that the Yankees hired an MIT. I don't know what the title was to develop that idea. So I've just seen a picture of one online. I don't know.
Dude, it's working. Home run after home run after home run. They are knocking it out of the park. And that is awesome. I love to see innovation. And it's just like, hey, look, innovation. That's what we're doing now, right? That's what you want to talk about. That's what's going on. Great things going on. But man, you know what? Just like in barbecue and everything else, in baseball, if you're not trying to get better, you're not trying to one up the next guy, you're not going to win. Same thing in barbecue, ain't that right?
That's right. That's right.
Tell me a little bit about what's going on.
Well, you know, just the day to day. Got through the banquet. Spring's rolling. Contests are going. KCBS staff's down a couple folks, so it keeps us hopping. We're working hard towards our KCBS World Invitational this Memorial Day back in Lebanon, Tennessee. And I asked you if I'd come on. We could talk about it a little bit, both the contest side and we're working on the public-facing side. So we're rubbing our hands together, hoping this works out for us. It's a one-day deal, the public side, and I've got a lot to talk about if you have time for it. Man,
I got plenty to talk about. I love it because I'm always open to talk to other people about it. And I love talking about what we're doing that makes it work for us and everything. To me, and we've had these conversations before, in order to make a great event, you got to have the public involved. And as an organizer, you need that. If you want the contest to keep rolling, if you want it to be sustainable, you got to have that kind of stuff. And the little things that you do to get the people involved go a long way to make that event very successful. What year contest is this for y'all?
This is 7th. It's our 7th annual.
That's awesome.
Which I jumped in on the 5th. No, the 4th. I jumped in on the 4th. I started in August of 22, and we went down to Gadsden, and then we went to Mayetta, Kansas for the 5th, and then we were in Lebanon for the 6th, and now we're back in Lebanon for the 7th because we have it's an amazing facility. It has a lot of things going for it. The infrastructure is amazing. You know, teams have the space they need. They have great power. I think our minimum power is 30 amp, and there's some 50 amp strung in there somewhere. So everybody gets 30 amp power, plenty of space. We have restrooms and showers buildings throughout the facility. So folks usually come a little early and stay a little late because it's a holiday weekend. Yeah, and this is something that I, the first 2 years of the World Invitational for me, judging was more or less outside. And this year and last year, it's in a climate controlled building. It's in a great spot, heated and cooled, so the judges will be just right. They'll be in a good mood. Won't be too hot, won't be too cold, which are what we had in Gadsden and in Mayetta, and enough space for everybody, and restrooms right there. And yeah, it works out really, really well. If you've never been, you need to come. I need you to come. We had 145 teams there last year, competing in the 3 events, which is a good number. We'd love to hit 150 this year.
Yeah.
We also, and this is another reason I came on, we have a CBJ class there Wednesday evening. Now, as you know, we only take J-Cup certified, and we give preferential treatment to masters. The first year we did that, we were pretty much 100% master CBJ. Last year we were not, but if you're a CBJ and you want to come judge, then you need to take the J-Cup, it takes all of about an hour, 5 hour and 10 minutes to go through all 8 modules, and then you're up to date. We're also, Brian, going to try our first attempt at a public facing side to this event. So the grounds are perfect for it. It's the Wilson County Fairgrounds, aka the Tennessee State Fairgrounds. The folks there locally want us to call it the James E. Ward Agricultural Center, which I try to do as much as I can. But
there you go.
When you say fairgrounds, much more descriptive, kind of tells you how much space, territory we have to work with. And so, yeah, we're going to do something on Saturday, the 24th there for the public. We're going to have live music all day. We're going to have food vendors. We're going to have some folks doing some 30-minute demos, cooking demos. We're going to have our kids queue on display for 2 categories. We're going to have a people's choice. So we're going to ask teams that they'll cook a pork butt for us, and there's going to be prize money to win for people's choice winner. And we're going to let the public sample and vote on pulled pork for people's choice. So, how many times you see spectators come out and say, well, there's nothing for us to do.
Oh man, that's what we learned year one. That was our biggest thing. As trying to do the public side of things, because I understand, like, you got to have that. That's what gets your sponsors there. That's what gets your money there. That's what gets the lifeblood of a contest there, is the public event, because everybody wants their name seen by a whole lot of eyeballs, right? Like, if you don't get the eyeballs on there, you're not doing it good. You're not doing them a favor. Yeah. But I walked in, and I literally, I acted like I was somebody coming to the event. And I walked around, I was like, man, this sucks. There's nothing for these guys to do. So then we did the public choice aspect, and the way we did our people's choice, it was okay, but everybody's asking, well, who won? Who is this person? Who is that person? So then we changed it last year, and we had a little snafu, but we're going to make it better this year. My whole thing with the public is get them involved, like get them walking through where all the team, because the teams are they're the shining point. That's what everybody wants to see. They want to know them. And if we can, and it only helps our sport is if we can show off the teams and the pit masters and who they are, then you got the following of the public, the local public coming back. I mean, every year we come back and they're like, where's Bad Rooster at? Their food was so good last year, and it's like, oh, they're right over there. I mean, that's kind of what you want, right? Like, you got to get the public loving it. Yeah. I mean, look, Rod, we were fortunate enough to the past 2 years, both 2 years that we've had, the next year, somebody came to the event, saw it, and put together a cook team. Yeah. And if that's not a success, there's not a success, right? Like, in my opinion.
That's bragging. You should preach that to the heavens, because that tells you how great your event is. If somebody looks around and says, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to try this.
And look, it's not me as an organizer. It is the teams. It's what the teams do and everything else, right? Like, showcase them. Like, that's what we got to do, is showcase our teams.
And there's a fine line there. I was a team for 20 years, and the thing is, we have to be respectful of teams too, because they pay to get in the event. So they're there to put their heads down, cook great food, turn in great food, and hopefully hear their name called. So I want to be respectful of those teams as well. I don't want to put too much on them because they paid to enter the event. And yeah, we turn pretty much every dime that we take in, most every dime, back as prize money at the World Invitational. But we want to be respectful. So we're going to do a people's choice. We're going to ask folks if they'll cook a pork butt for us. We'll handle it from there. We'll come get it. We'll take care of it. I mentioned we'd have live music all day. We're going to have some food vendors and a beer garden that I didn't mention.
Nice.
And we're going to have some barbecue exhibitors there, some folks in the barbecue industry set up so you can see their wares and talk to them. It's, just a well-rounded barbecue festival is what I'd like to call it. And I hope that it starts a tradition there that we can build this every year right there in that spot.
Yeah, I mean, make it a barbecue event. I love it. I think it's great. I love what you're trying to do. That is what, golly, you get the public involved, and it makes everything good. People want to come. Like you won a lot of contests. You won a lot of contests in your times, right? The events that you remember the most are when you won it and there was a lot of people there watching, right? Like that's cool when there's people there, and you want to see a lot of people there. Now, don't be changing up on me. I'm trying to push your people.
No. I'm just thinking. There's a picture of me on a stage waving to this crowd, and it's a huge crowd. They're not there for barbecue, but it was at the Michigan Speedway outside of Detroit, Lansing, I think. Is that right? I'm not sure, but long time ago, and I met the Pork Barrel Barbecue guys there. They both came in to cook with me, and it was a Ronnie Cates event. Ronnie's passed recently, and he was doing events at different speedways that year, and there was a huge crowd there, and they weren't there to see us win the barbecue contest, but it was still a lot of fun.
Right. That public aspect of it. And I promise you, somebody looked up Pellet Envy and they're buying 0 to Hero today, and it's the best rub they've ever used.
I think it's the best rub they've ever used. They might disagree with me, but I think it is. So, hey, I do also want to tell you that we added some events on Friday for the teams, and I was hoping by the time you and I met tonight that I would be able to spill the beans, but it's not quite there. But we have a chicken one meat, a rib one meat. We have an anything but category, but it's going to get taken over by a sponsor, and there's going to be some incredible prize money tied to it for this one category on Friday night. I wish I could tell it all right now, but I can't. And then we have a dessert category Friday night. So, some fun things to do on Friday. We still have the holiday distillery cocktail category on Saturday after the open turn-ins, which is really a fun event and lets people really express themselves and do some crazy things and have some fun with it. And I mean, the winning drinks last year, I got to sample 2 of the top 5, and they were outstanding. It's just incredible. We're not just barbecue people. We're creative people with food. We can do more than the 4 categories, and it makes it a lot of fun.
100%. I mean, what were they? What were some of those drinks?
So what's funny is I tried the winner. It was blue, and it was a slushie. And I think it had coconut in it. I can't remember, but then later I was walking back from awards, and I passed a guy who was carrying the first place stuff, and I stopped him and I said, "Was that your drink?" And he said, "Yeah, it was my drink." Gosh darn it, you put me on the spot. I can't remember what it was.
Slushy sounds good. You got me there.
Well, realize it's the end of May in Tennessee, so it's hot. So, and then after 4 categories that year, last year 5 categories of food, to hit a drink like that, just be something that'd be cool. No wonder it won. Plus, it tasted great. It really did taste great.
So
dangerously great, honestly.
Dangerous. So let me back up. Shame on me for being a terrible host. All right, when is the contest?
So it's the 23rd through the 25th of May. That's Memorial Day weekend. It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday of that weekend in Lebanon, Tennessee. So 30 minutes east of Nashville.
Can you come in on Thursdays?
Oh, absolutely. So last year we had some teams cook Sevierville the weekend before, and 2 or 3 of them drove over and parked their rigs Sunday night and stayed there the whole time. But yeah, we have teams coming in on Wednesday, teams coming in on Thursday. It's so big, Brian, that we even have some judges who have asked to camp there, and we've got a little area down at the end where we can put some of the judges in their RVs to stay right on grounds, because apparently it's pretty tough to find an RV park for that weekend. It sounds like it's pretty booked up. So yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
Next question. if you don't check your emails and you don't follow KCBS, how can you sign up for the event? Because Chris Gavin said he wishes he could join it. He says he would love to attend it one year. Go, Chris, go cook it this year, right?
Yeah, come this year, Chris. We've got space, unbelievable space, honestly. Incredible power. I didn't hear one. Well, I did hear one bad comment because one team pranked another team into believing where they were going to park, and then they didn't park them there. And then we had somebody who was a little disappointed, and I had to go have a conversation. But it all worked out fine because what I love is no matter where we put you, you're not that many steps away from a brick and mortar restroom that has showers in it. So, you don't have to fill your gray water tanks up over the weekend with shower water and things like that. It's just a really nice spot. We have ice on site because, fairgrounds are just a little bit off the road. So you're pretty well self-contained. But yeah, you should come. If you've never been, you should come cook it this year. So you just go to the KCBS website, and at the very top of it, it says events. And if you click on events, then just a couple spots down, 3 or 4 spots down, it says KCBS World Invitational. And you click on that, and it takes you to the page. It gives you all the details. We're still looking for some volunteers to come and work at the public facing side. There's a place to sign up for that. There's a vendor application if you want to vend at the event. It's there. Everything is on one page. It takes you a minute to look around because there's so much stuff here, but it talks about the ancillaries on Friday night and the holiday cocktail category on Saturday. Everything you want to know about it. It gives you the hotels that are in the area that we've got a block of rooms at. There's 3 of them. It just tells you all about it. The Kids Cute contest, all about it is there. They're gonna turn in some Snake River product. They're gonna cook on some Weber grills, and they're gonna use some Jealous Devil charcoal.
Supplied
right
all
there.
Of supplied.
All of it's supplied for the Kids Cute. All those things are supplied, and it's going to be in the area. Basically, we call it the entertainment pavilion, but it's where we have awards. And so there's going to be seating, and you can watch the kids cook and have a good time with it.
And I know there's a Tupelo Honey there, not too far from that location, about 30 minutes away. Tupelo Honey is one of the best restaurants that you'll go to over there. It is amazing. Go hit up Tupelo Honey if you're in that area too. It's delicious. That's
a tip. I'll have to go try that myself. I don't know about Tupelo Honey.
Oh man, it is amazing. It's so good. We
excellent.
Good place to go.
Excellent.
So you can sign up. Anybody can sign up, right? There is an invitational part of it with a grand or reserve, and there's also an open.
Yep. So we're going back. So for the invitationals, and a lot of people, we've sent out a couple of invitations. I'm going to send another one this week to everybody who's invited. We go back 2 full years, grand and reserve. We go back the same for backyard for chicken and ribs. We're also sending out invitations for overall winners for backyard. It's a lot of people are invited, and there is an open contest on Saturday. So any KCBS member can enter that open contest.
Perfect. It's open to everybody, guys. Go cook this thing. They're doing a wonderful job, like you said. And what I love about having it at a fairgrounds is generally the city runs it or whatever. So if you have any problems with power or any kind of utility, there's somebody on site that can fix it for you right away. I mean, that's what
actually, the guy lives there. He lives on site.
There you go.
We can get him if we have something we need, and it's important. We can get him any time of the day or night. I mean, we prefer not to get him at night if we don't have to, because he deserves a little time off too. But we pick up the trash for you. We take care of the power for you. You've got water to most sites too. Really, you just couldn't ask for much more, honestly.
Yeah, that's amazing. I think it's great. It looks like everything's going the right way. You still want teams. You're not full. You're still open to more teams.
We had 145 last year. I'd love to have 150 this year. Just 5 more teams. I'd take 200. We've got room for 200. I don't expect to have 200, but we're working hard to put on a good contest. We've got good prize money. We're going to give out nearly $80,000 over the weekend. So there's a little something for everybody there. There's some fun things to do. You roll in on Thursday and want to cook a little bit on Friday. There's 4 categories you turn in on Friday night, and then turn around the way we go on Saturday and jump into the holiday cocktail contest. It's free to enter. You decide what alcohol you want. We're just on that category right now. As I think about it, I had a call last week, and we're wrapping that up, and then it'll be a fun it's such a fun category after the 4 turn-ins, and then awards are at 5, and then we turn around, we do it again on Sunday with the Masters Invitational and the Backyard Invitational. And we say awards, I think we say awards are at 4, but we try to get out of there as soon as we can, let folks get on their way home. And, you know, Monday's the holiday, give them some time to recoup, and then back we go again. But yeah, I can't say enough good things about it. The event's fun. We're working hard on it. We've got great trophies. We've got ribbons for everything all over the place. Good prize money.
That's great. That's what you want. I mean, that's what teams are looking for. I still think teams love trophies. I still think that, and they want communication. They want a fun thing. They want to be able to do stuff with their friends and have the people there. I love it. I love what you're doing. I think you're 100% on the right track. And I hope it's wonderful. And I know it will be with all the people that y'all have on it and the amount of work you're putting into it. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah. And if you don't want to come cook, but you want to come experience it, that's great. There's a little fee for the People's Choice, and we have 25 VIP tickets. That's all we have is 25 of them. You can find them on Eventbrite. The event itself, the public-facing side, is absolutely free. To experience People's Choice is a $20 fee, I think. And then the VIP tickets, is pulling the curtain back on Competition Barbecue. There's a short 30-minute judging class for those folks, and then we take them into the judging area. They don't get a judge, but they get a sample from the leftovers table. They get a conversation and experience, and then we're gonna introduce them to some of the teams, which, you know, they love that. And there's some special seating for them near the stage and close to the beer garden, and there's a private area there that's air conditioned for them to relax in if they get too hot or just need a break. We're just doing a lot of fun things. We're trying not to bite off too much because we want to get it right. We want to be successful. That's why it's just a one-day thing. But really, seriously, this has something for everybody, and I'd love to see some more people get involved. And if you don't cook and you don't feel like tasting barbecue, come out and volunteer for the public side and rub elbows with people who've been doing this forever and know everybody in barbecue.
The best way to learn anything about contest is going and volunteering, getting behind the turn-in table, seeing what happens back in the building or whatever it is, whatever room it is, whatever you want to call it. That's where you see the barbecue contest go down and see everything else. It's so cool. As a cook, I think that's what people need to do. And I'm telling you, with all of our sponsors, we do the same thing, right? And sponsors absolutely love to see the tours of the trailers and see what real competition barbecue turn-ins are. And look, I'm blessed just like you are. You've got connections with everybody in barbecue. We have our sponsor teams, and a lot of them are there. And, you know, they're very willing to help us to show off, right? Like, man, at the end of the day, we're all pit masters, and we all are proud of what we do. And there's not a single one of us out there that doesn't think we're better than everybody else doing it. And we turn in the best food that's ever been turned in, right? So we want to show off. And I can promise you, somebody's going to take a bite of that food that we turn in. They're going to be like, doggone, that is good. Because it's going to be better than anything they've ever had at a restaurant, right? Like, and on the public side of things. So if we just get it out there to these people and let them come on there and see it, they're going to love it, and they're going to want to be a part of it. I think it's great, Rod. Y'all are doing a great job.
We're trying. I like to say we're trying. I think there's always room for improvement, but as long as you have that attitude and you do the best you can, usually it turns out okay.
Right. And look, if you're not trying to improve, you're going backwards. If you're not trying to innovate, just like we talked about with baseball bats. If you're not trying to come up with a better baseball bat, you ain't going to win. I mean, that's what it is, right? Like, I mean, and it applies to everything. And speaking of improving, I don't know if you want to talk about it. KCBS is improving and changing, and there's a lot of new stuff going on, right? It seems like with KCBS right now.
Yeah, we're trying. You know, we're always trying to refine. We always want to be better. We want to serve our membership to the best of our ability. That's the key, because this is a tiny. We look so big, but we're a tiny nonprofit. We're membership based. Yes, we have over 15,000 members, and yes, we sanction 400 contests worldwide. Most of them are domestic, of course, and that makes us look so big. But we're just a small operation, and we just always want to. You can't please all the people all the time, but we're trying hard.
Yeah, And I love it. And the thing that you said at the beginning, and changing gears a little bit because it just came to me. You made the contest. I mean, you made the comment about you're going to have J Cup judges. You got to be a J Cup judge, and you got to, and you want them to be master judge. I'm glad you said that because I've always said, hey, look, I want J Cup judges to be in our event, and to me that's very important. Especially as somebody that's just gone through the process. Like, I really think you got to do the J Cup thing. I mean, that seems to be the best.
Brian, it's a refresher. It takes a little over an hour. You don't have to do it in one sitting. It's 8 modules that are about 8 minutes each with a 4-question quiz at the end, and sit down one night and do 2 or 3 of them, and sit down the next night and do 2 or 3 of them. And then by the third night, it's, 20 minutes for 20, 25 minutes 3 times. It's a refresher. Listen, there are people who have forgotten more about barbecue than I'll ever know, but they would all agree that it never hurts to refresh a little bit.
Oh, 100%.
Just touch up on it. Yep.
100%. And I think
it's not a big investment of time. Doesn't cost any money. And you said it. There are now contests that target J Cup certified judges to judge their event.
And it's good news is it's becoming easier to do because I think more and more of the judges have done the J Cup certification, which is great. And Rod, I am a judge now. I'm a certified judge now. Proud.
Yeah, I heard that. I heard you took a judging class recently.
I did, and I'm proud to say I'm a judge, and I like the smile you have on your face. And hey, I know it's all good. But yeah, that's why I'm pushing the J Cup because anyway, that's a whole nother conversation for another day, Rod. Let's just go away from that.
But wait, have you judged? Have you judged yet?
No, I haven't. Do you
have your sights set on one to judge yet?
I would love to, but I don't know when I only get to cook like 5 or 6 times a year. So it's either, I've thought about, I was going to try to go out to the Royal this year. And if I didn't qualify, judge the first day and then turn around and cook the second day, since I didn't qualify, but I wanted to be there. But now with the Royal the week before the Atlanta Barbecue
that changes things.
I don't think I'm going to be able to make it because trying to put on an event. Anyway, that's whatever. So
that's go time. That week before, you need all the time you can to get
ready. There's no way. There's no way. It was hard enough when it was 2 weeks before, but having it a week before it's a lot. And we ourselves are trying our hardest to make a good contest. And I think it's for KCBS as a whole. I think if we can all try to make our contest great and do what it is, it helps everybody. It makes everybody's brand look better, right?
Well, we were talking before we got on here for just a few minutes about great events, and great events grow. Great events add teams most every year, and prize money is amazing, and amenities, cookside amenities are amazing. But honestly and truthfully, if you make that team feel like they're part of the event, if you communicate with them, that will go so far. And I mean, that's all of our goals. I know sometimes we get caught up in the details, and it's a little more difficult to communicate well. But I really think we should put our best foot forward there and make sure we communicate with folks.
And the way I look at it, and you're in the same boat, if I'm asking the teams to do People's Choice, it's only fair as the organizer. If I'm asking them to do that, I need to go out of my way to make them feel appreciated for what they've done for us. Because without the teams, we don't have People's Choice, right? Without them doing that for us, we are so grateful for the teams to do that. And we're so lucky that, barbecue teams want to help. They really want to help. If you're doing it for a good cause, they want to help. They want to be a part of it. And most people, there are some people that really want to win People's Choice, and that's awesome. But a lot of people are really and truly doing it out of the goodness of their heart to help the organizer, because they understand that's the lifeblood of a lot of the events and a lot of what keeps everything happening. And I can tell y'all care, right? Like, I can tell you care, and that you care about what the teams are doing, and it's going to come across to the teams, and that matters.
Yeah, I hope so. taking on this event and not being in my backyard here in Kansas City makes it more difficult for us to all pick up and go somewhere remotely. But I think we found a home that's got great amenities, and it's put together in a way that makes our job easier because we have everything we need and self-contained, and that helps us put on a better event and try to show the teams that how important they are.
Yeah, and that's
the
what
judges.
Oh,
Climate
for
control
sure.
judging compared to where we've been is amazing. We don't have to worry about if it's raining. We don't have to worry about if it's hot, if it's cold, anything. It's a really, really a good spot for a contest. Well, I mean, Smoke on the Shores was there in March. I guess we're still in March by a day here, aren't we? And had what 150 teams, 100 masters and 50 backyard. I'm off by a team or two because they had some cancellations, but that's a testament to the place we're going. 150 teams in March for a contest. Yeah,
that's amazing. I mean, I say it all the time. You do a good job, people will come to it. And speaking of judges, what we learned, judges love pins. Are y'all doing pins for the judges?
We are.
It's amazing.
In fact,
those are important.
Since you bring it up, at a contest this size, sometimes we have a little difficulty finding enough table captains. So we have a pin specific to table captains, and they've got the year on them, so you can collect them.
Okay.
But they say they're the World Invitational logo with table captain in big letters under it with the year on it for everybody who's a table captain. Only the second year to do this. We did it last year, and we've got them coming back this year for table captains. So they have a special pin that only they will have.
Man, see, as a cook, I wasn't aware how important the pins were. And then we asked, we're like, hey, what do y'all want? What would make this better for you as judges? Because once again, if you don't have judges, you don't have a contest.
Nope.
And they're like, pins, what about pins? I was like,
yeah.
What about pins? Right. So then we did some research and we found it. We're like, that's really cool. So now that's going to be something that we look forward to for our judges is pins.
It's interesting to hear you say you didn't realize the importance of pins. So when I got started, which was 2001, every contest gave you a pin. And I don't know, that kind of slowed down probably somewhere around, and I'm making this up because I don't know exactly, but 2015, 2016, 2017, in that range somewhere, people weren't making pins anymore. It even got to a point where in 22, or was it 23, the American Royal has always given out two pins. It's called the crown pin and the bull pin.
Mm-hmm.
And they always gave out two pins, and the teams all got them. And then that one year, there was only one pin. They decided to do away with, I think the bull pin, just did the crown pin. Very traditional. It's a gold crown. It's even got the cutouts on it, and it's got American Royal in the year. And last year, 24, they brought it back. They must have gotten some feedback, and so now the Royal has both pins again. And so
now that you say that, they always come in the bag.
What's that?
Now that you say that, I always remember seeing them in the bag. It just didn't.
Yeah. And 1 year they cut it down to one, and they're back now with two, which I think is because Carolyn Wells has a great collection of pins. She's got, every year of the Jack. She has every year of the Great Lenexa Barbecue Battle, and she has both the crown and the bull pins for the American Royal. And she displays them in a frame behind glass, and they're just really cool to look at. Plus, she's got every KCBS pin, of course. And we've had yearly pins every year. This year it's a charcoal chimney, which is just something a little different this year. We had somebody want to do basically a kettle style grill, and the lid opens and closes on it.
Oh, that's cool.
Feature on it. That might be 40. That might be next year's pin, 40th year. KCBS 40 years. So we'll see. Funny. Pins are fun. I've got a ton of pins from my days cooking. I keep them in a Crown Royal bag, and it's pretty much full. I don't even have any idea how many there are.
That's awesome. So we're going to Cooperstown this year for my son going to Cooperstown and 12U baseballs. And the big thing there at Cooperstown is pin trading, right? So every team has a pin, and there's 104 teams there, and they all have 13 kids on it, and everybody's got pins, and they go around trading. And the whole goal is to see if you can get every team's pin. So it's a big deal. Like, I mean, so it just like resonated with us. And we're like, man, we got to,
Yeah.
and you want to do something that makes people memorable to those people in your contest. And
Yeah.
that's what y'all
do. Apparently this pin thing is bigger than us because when I got to KCBS, I got an email from a gentleman who is a referee. I forget the sport for Special Olympics.
Okay.
And he was traveling out of the country to the Special Olympics. And he asked if again this year we had some extra pins, and we got him some pins. And so, we've got a lot of pins at KCBS. We try to keep on hand all the years we have available. There's some other special pins there, and there's a 30th KCBS. There's a KCBS flag pin. There's just some pins that we keep, but we always try to find, I don't know, 50 or 100 pins we can pull together, and this will be they're asking again this year, so this will be the 4th year that we send pins with these folks to wherever the Special Olympics is, and they trade pins with
That's
internationally. Cool. They trade them internationally. So I had no idea that kids did this, but it's a big deal.
Yeah. I mean, in little things that you can do at a contest. I mean, I love it. I love what y'all are doing. I think it's great. So how is KCBS? Where do you see KCBS right now?
We're good. We're, just like teams, we're navigating the change after COVID. I think the team counts are down a bit. I will tell you this. Let's talk positive for the moment. I don't mind being honest and real. I noticed in February, every contest of sanctions with us crosses my desk. I see every contest of sanctions in one way or another. And I noticed in early February, so for those that don't know, if you have a contest sanction with KCBS, if you renew by December 1 for the following year, then you keep your date. After December 1, it's fair game for anybody to submit an application for that date. Now, admittedly, traditionally, we will pick up the phone and call the organizer whose date is open and say, we have an application on this date. We want to make sure you're not coming back, and give them a chance to renew. We do that. I'll be honest with you, because it's the right thing to do.
Right.
It's service. Anyway, I noticed there were a lot of new contests. And by a lot, I think it was about a dozen new contests. And that was early February. And I asked my Sherry Byler, the contest coordinator, to create a report for me so I could share it with the board. And I was right. It was above 12. And then we had 7 new international contests. And we had a couple of new CBJ classes internationally. Now, last week, Friday, I asked Sherry again. And I think we've crested 30 new contests domestically.
Awesome.
Now, happens every year. We have some folks that drop out. There are tons of reasons. We had a Jiggy with the Piggy, big deal in North Carolina. Had gone for 10 years, had really built it up to be a contest people like to attend.
Yep.
And the city there just decided that 10 years was enough of it. And so it's not back in 2025. But, those things happen. Sometimes organizers take on so much and don't spread it out enough, and they burn out, and they just say, hey, it's enough. Or maybe something changes in their family and they just can't do it. So contests do come and go, and it isn't always for bad reasons. Sometimes it just should run its course. But yeah, we're up about 30 new contests, which, everybody says we need more contests. And so we do. Now we need teams to sign up for them. And then the judges will have new places to go to, and it'll be good for everybody. So, and we want to provide good service for those contests too.
And I by no means am like putting you on the spot. I'm literally asking this question because I don't know the answer. I don't know this answer. What for those 12, 15 teams or contests that are coming on, is there anything for them? Do y'all have anybody that can go and like help them as a new organizer, as a new contest to like what you're learning right now as an event? Y'all's event sounds like it's going to be a great event. Is there somebody helping those people to have a good event, or is that just something that isn't really KCBS's? Because look, KCBS is a vendor to an event for most part.
Yeah, we are a vendor, but we want our events to be successful. So it starts as early as when we receive a sanctioning application saying, hey, Are they at least 90 days out? So they've got enough time, enough runway to have a great contest. And hey, are they at least, a certain distance from a competing contest so they're not drawing from the same pool of teams, which will hurt both events.
Right.
And then we ask new organizers to please go shadow a KCBS sanctioned event at least 30 days before. And, it also starts even before the application comes in, Brian. I schedule phone calls with folks and talk to them about the aspects of a barbecue contest. And they have such great questions, but we provide them with an organizer's guide. It's like 60 pages.
Yeah.
And I think it drills down maybe a little bit too far on every detail of a barbecue contest. And then I also tell them, as soon as you submit a sanctioning application, we assign you your contest reps. Right. This could be a year in advance. It could be 9 months in advance, but as soon as we approve your application, we assign you your contest reps, and they become your mentors.
Right.
Those are the people that are the boots on the ground. They've seen it all. They've repped lots of contests. They'll reach out to you, introduce themselves. They'll reach out to you periodically, usually monthly or so, depending on the event and how much help they need. And then those very same people show up on the first day of your event, and they are your officials, your representatives from KCBS, and they handle it all the way from checking in teams to watching as you have your awards and make sure things stay on track, and they don't leave until you're done awarding all your awards. So that's the support system. Plus, we get lots of calls from organizers to call the office and say, hey, I just have a question about this topic, or I just want to know how this works. And we're good. We're responsive in helping them with that. So there's a support system in place. It's usually a lot of hand-holding. I don't know, hand-holding sounds like a negative term. That's not what I want to say.
No, I know what you're
saying.
There's a lot. It's very daunting. And like if somebody were to go shadow what y'all are trying to do, it's very daunting. Like, you don't have to do all that. Somebody comes and shadows what we try to do at our contest. You don't have to do everything we do. Yeah. I think it helps doing some of that kind of stuff, but you don't have to do all of that, so just be aware of what it is. And you've hit the nail on the head, and I love it. And if you've watched my show or me at all, I have been a huge proponent that the KCBS reps at an event are the face of KCBS. Like, that is who 90% of people that cook contests, especially new teams and everybody else, they don't know the board. They don't know it. They know that KCBS rep. For the longest time, that's all I knew were certain reps, like certain couples. That was, to me, was KCBS. I didn't know anybody on the board. I didn't know anybody else,
right.
And it, for me, really and truly, to start with, it was the Braziers, right? Like, they were the ones in this area that did a lot, right? Like, they were a lot.
Has anybody checked on Philip? I think his team lost yesterday. Has anybody checked on Philip? Philip, that's the funny thing about Philip and Kathy. When they came to Cook's meeting, Philip always had jokes about the other teams in his conference, which was hilarious. But that's what I've known Philip and Kathy from way back when not long after I started cooking. So I just want to hope maybe he's listening. I hope he's okay after his team lost yesterday. I'm not sure.
But they were what I thought of for KCBS, right?
Yeah.
And that's a lot of what we're seeing now. And I think they're becoming, with some of the stuff that's going on, I think there's been more of a lifting up of the reps, and I think it's great. I think that's a really good thing that's going on right now is reps. And
people don't talk enough about the reps, Brian. And right. This is from my perspective in the office, and I'll tell you what I mean by that. So reps leave Thursday or Friday. They get to an event. They're there Friday. They get all the way through Cook's meeting. They usually hang around a little bit. Then they go find their dinner and hotel room and come back bright and early, usually by 8 a.m. They check in judges. They seat the judges. They host a judges meeting. Then they facilitate the judging process. They tabulate the results. They work with the organizer, and they provide those results to the organizer, and they stand out of the way while the organizer, calls the winners, and they do all that for very little money.
Oh, very little.
Nobody is a rep for the pay.
Not a chance.
They're a rep because they love barbecue.
They really do, and they're. Yeah. and nobody knows that other than organizers, right? Nobody knows that other than the people that write the check, right? Like
Yeah.
nobody knows what they get or anything else. And for for the amount of time and effort they put into it, I mean, look, Wayne and Rachel Harper do art. Ellen's talking to Rachel every other week about
Yep.
something. Like
Yep.
that's now, and we're 6-8
Yeah.
months away,
Yeah.
or however long we are away.
That's how it works. They're your mentors. That's how
Right.
it works. Yeah.
They're partners with us. Like
Yeah.
they're like the reps are partners with us in this,
Mhm.
right? Like, I mean that, you got to look at it that way because everybody's working together and you're trying to make it happen.
Yep.
Doug, Lebanon hasn't happened yet. You can still sign up. It's not too late to sign up for it. Go sign up right now and get involved in this on Memorial Day weekend. Doug.
Yeah, come see us. Come play with us. We've got plenty of space. I think you'll be happy. We got a great place for awards. We're going to do a lot of great things this year, and I think folks are going to be talking about it when they leave.
So, as the organizer, because I take it you're the organizer,
Pretty much. Pretty much.
What are you looking forward to the most?
What I'm looking forward to is Friday about Cook's meeting, because it means that everybody who could get there is there. Last year we had a team breakdown, and he reached out to me on my cell phone and said, "Hey, Rod, I'm running behind. I'm probably not going to get there till after Cook's meeting." That happens, especially in a group this size. But by the time you get to Cook's meeting on Friday, then it's almost in autopilot because all the cooks are in their spots. The reps are all there. We've checked all the teams in for the most part. We have a cooks meeting that lasts, 30 to 45 minutes. We turn them loose. They're going to turn in some categories. We're cruising through the weekend for the most part. This year, the wrench is going to be that we're going to have folks on the other side, right over there, doing a public facing side that I'm sure are going to need some help or something along the way. And I've been honest the whole way. Randy Todd, board member, Randy Todd from Cookeville, Tennessee. Randy's kind of spearheading the public facing side. He's put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into this. He's traveled a lot of miles. He's talked to a lot of people. He's working really hard on it, as are some, we have a Blake Moore. Blake Moore is working hard with Randy. Blake's a new CBJ, just got his master's at the Royal, and he's from down that way. And Blake's working really hard helping marketing it and get it going. And Paul Buab's involved quite a bit. Actually, a lot of people are involved. And it's wrong of me to name a few of them and not all of them. And I'm not going to get them all done and do some injustice somewhere. But that side's going to be where we sweat a little bit because we've never done it before, and we're being honest with vendors, and we're being honest with the exhibitors, and we're just telling them the truth. Hey, we've never done this. We want a good turnout. We've got some other events there that we can cross promote with. There's a car show out there, and there's a craft fair out there in a building. And so there's some other events they could maybe smell the smoke and just kind of wander over, which we may get the benefit of. But we're going to use Eventbrite for our tickets. Like I said, it's free for the public to come on Saturday. So we hope they come out, and we just want to have a great contest, Brian. That's what it boils down to.
Yeah. Well, you're doing what you need to do. You're doing all the stuff up front. I think it's awesome. It's going to be great. But I know exactly what you're talking about. Once you get to Cook's meeting, you're like, I can breathe for a second. We've got everybody parked. We've got everybody. The meat inspection's pretty much done. Like there's really nothing else to do except for wait for turn-ins. Except for Saturday morning, if you do the public side, you wake up Saturday morning, you're like, all right, now I got a whole nother event that I got to plan for, that I got to work with. The barbecue side is easy now. Now I got to go work with the other side of things. It makes it fun. I mean, it makes the day go by really fast.
Fun may not be the word I would have chosen, but I'll go with fun. With fun. Hey, I do need to say this too. I just thought of something. The reason that we're in Lebanon is Jason Cole and Eric Cantrell, who host Smoke on the Shore there. Jason reached out to me, I think, before Gadsden even happened in 22, and said, you should really see this place. And I said, hey, thanks. We're booked this year. And then he called me after again, and I really didn't want to travel that far after driving to Gadsden with a van that I couldn't hear my phone ring. It was so loud in this hollow van I rented full of stuff. And so the next year we went to Mayetta, which is a little over an hour from the office. And I thought I was doing great there, but it was so hot. And Jason called again, and I said, okay, I'll come look. And I went down on my way to the Jack in 23 and saw it and said, okay, let's do it, and signed the deal. But Jason and Eric worked their butts off to help us make this event successful. They're definitely boots on the ground. They're from that area. They run a contest there. So they've been nearly irreplaceable in all the things they do for us. And Eric will throw on that big cowboy hat. He'll place teams, and Eric's helping us with judge selection, and Eric will help us with meat inspection, and Eric will do everything. And Jason will probably compete, but Jason and Brandy and Eric, we couldn't do it without them.
They're great people. Great people. And they do a great contest. Like, they host a great event. Smoke on the Shores is an awesome event. Yep. That's another one of those events that I wish I could have, but it's always opening baseball weekend for us. I mean, one of these days, and I'm not looking forward to it, but our kids are growing up fast, and Ellen and I will have a lot more time to get involved and do more cooking. But, we're not trying to make our kids grow up too fast, because they're growing up fast enough.
Yeah, you'll look back and be glad you had that time. Right. I know a lot of barbecuers who were on the circuit with me and then disappeared off the circuit for a while and then came back. And not one of them regret being gone during that time, because they know that time is not infinite, that it's definitely finite, and it's going to pass. And then if you want to come back then. Yep.
And look, if we all do our job, barbecue's still going to be here, right? Like, that's a good thing.
And Charles, we all do our job, barbecue's still going to be here. Absolutely.
Right. And I'm saying that I'm saying that to me as a barbecue supply store, right? Like Atlanta Barbecue Store, And Childs, I hope Ellen did something with you. If not, call her. Well, we're definitely in. I don't know what it is. I know he's been emailing. Ellen does all of our Atlanta Barbecue Store stuff. If anybody knows us, y'all know Ellen is the Atlanta Barbecue Store.
That's another piece, Brian, that I should really, I've neglected to talk about. But, KCBS Foundation provides scholarships to the children of KCBS members, trying to help them with their education. We've done it for years. And, last year we gave away about $9,000, and we're hoping to do at least that this year. And one of the ways that the foundation raises money at this event, not only do they go around and do the 50-50 that you're used to them doing at the banquet and at this event and some other places, but they set up a pop-up shop, and they ask for donations. Eat Barbecue will be in the lineup there, and they sell that product and raise money for scholarships. And it's not an easy job. No. Childs was entered in the event. He's the chairperson for the foundation committee, but he'll be entered in both days. And so he recruits some volunteers. Last year, it was Bill and Mary Jones. They worked their butts off running the pop-up shop and did a nice job of it. So I know with this public facing side, we're going to have the pop-up shop bigger and better over on this side, and hope to really do well for the foundation, because they work hard to raise money.
No, we love helping. I mean, I'm Charles. It sounds like we're good. We love helping. We love doing that kind of stuff for y'all. I do. I know Ellen does too. We stay busy and we stay behind, and but anything we can do to help people, that's what it's all about. I mean, that's why we all do this, right? Like, we've all been blessed. It's it doesn't hurt to give back. So
but Charles, I think they had a record number of kids apply for scholarships last year. I'm copied on all the emails. I have a feeling that this will be a new record, because we've gotten tons of applications in, and I see all of the letters of recommendation from their teachers, and it's a big deal. It's a process. It's not just drawing names out of a hat. It's a well thought out. Nancy Goldsmith fleshed this out for us, and it's a serious process of deciding who we're providing scholarships for.
Man, that's awesome. Rod, you're awesome. Once again, how can people sign up for the event?
So just go to the KCBS website, and there are some words across the top that have drop-down menus. The third one from the left says events. When you click it, it drops down. About the third or fourth item on it says the KCBS World Invitational. Jump on there. It's a page that tells you everything you want to know. It talks about dates. It talks about times. It talks about categories. It talks about the public-facing side. It talks about the kids queue, which, we love kids. We're going to limit it to 25 in each of the two categories. That might be biting off a lot for the first year, but that's our goal. We have hotel links where we have blocks of rooms reserved for the event. We talk about the ancillaries and the stuff we're doing on Friday night. We have team info, judge info, vendor applications, and volunteer applications. If you just want to come out, volunteer, help us wrangle the folks on the People's Choice or whatever it is, we're gonna need all kinds of volunteers out there to help us. So that page in itself gives you pretty much everything you want to know about the event all in one spot with links to all the applications for all the different things. We'd love to have you come out. We'd love to have some more teams. We'd love to have some volunteers help us on Saturday. So
everybody needs volunteers.
Yep.
Everybody needs volunteers. Well, I'm going to shout out Kerry. He's on here. I know it was a GBA event. We love KCBS, but we love Competition Barbecue. Competition Barbecue as a whole makes everything roll. Kerry with a big grand there at the GBA event. And man, my man, Charles and Don Beard, Glamping Grillers with a monster 715 score this weekend.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's a huge score. That's a huge score.
Huge.
Yeah, huge. Absolutely.
What is you might know this. What is the highest score ever? Is it a 716 something?
You know what? I do know it. I don't know the score off the top of my head, but I know exactly where to find it. Okay. If we can talk for just a minute, I'll get the score.
Yeah. That's great. And then, I know I saw Janky had a win again. Brad had to win again this weekend. A lot of teams won this weekend, and they're getting better. They're doing a lot of good things. But man, and as we're talking, I'm going to put you on the spot. Why not? People ask me this all the time as an organizer.
Why not?
I'm an organizer. Who do you think's going to win your contest?
Oh man, listen, I did this too long. I did this too long to even, this is where I got to the point when I knew my food was good and I knew my food was bad, but it didn't matter because there were days when I had the best food I'd had in a while and I didn't get out of my chair. And then there were days where my food wasn't the best it could be and we did well at that contest. So it's not about what I think. It's about what the judges think. I will tell you, it's interesting. We talk about the inconsistencies in judging, but we turn around and we see teams like, well, let's use Getting Basted. What's his 7th win already, and it's only March. So talk about somebody who's consistent, and he's traveling to various parts of the country, so it's not the same judges every time. I know judges travel, but they can't keep up with Brad Leininger and the way he travels.
Right.
So anyway, you could put me on the spot. If I had a name that I thought I knew could win it all, I would tell you. I just think on any given day, I'd have to say right now, Glamping Grillers, since they were 715 this last weekend. Here's the highest score ever recorded: 717-7144. That's the highest score. It was Kurt Wallace from Smoked and Furious at the KCBS World Invitational Open in Mayetta, Kansas. Okay. And just barely got past the score that had been up there for forever that Donnie Teal had. Donnie Teal had the highest score ever in KCBS for many years. And Kurt got by him just by a little bit that year in Mayetta.
That's crazy. That's awesome. Man, I love it. And look, I think everything's awesome. Rod, I appreciate your time. I'm so glad we could come on and do this. Congratulations, Charles. I didn't forget you. You won too. Sorry.
Yeah, Charles had a win. And not only did he win, he also took in some CBJs that were working toward their master CBJ so they could check that box. So They got to see behind the scenes and watch Charles win a contest. It doesn't get better than that. That's a memory those folks will always have. They'll always have that memory. And
I'm telling you, that team, that is a team that Charles has put together, and they do an awesome job. They're fun to sit back and watch cook. I mean, they do a great job over there. But man, awesome. Well, Rod, is there anything else you want to talk about?
No, I think we covered most of it. I really do appreciate your show. I appreciate coming on. I don't usually I'm in a committee meeting in the evenings, so I don't have a lot of time to catch the shows, but I appreciate what you're doing. And, I'll be 100% upfront, of course, that you carry my product in your store, and I appreciate that. So we have a relationship outside of what we're doing here.
Right.
I think we can keep that separate tonight, but thank you so much for everything. Thank Ellen too. Ellen works with me a lot, and we do good things, and I appreciate her patience sometimes because I'm trying to keep Eat Barbecue and KCBS as separate as I can keep them, and that makes me a little slow in responding sometimes because I do it at night when I'm not in a committee meeting. So
there you go. We
always something
understand.
going on at KCBS, and I appreciate you letting me on here to tell it all as best I can. And one of these days we're going to get you to the World Invitational too.
Man, I look, it's not that I don't want to go. I have 2 kids in 2 different tournaments at 2 different places that weekend. I don't know what to do. We're still
I understand
how to get.
You'll be there another 8 years or so, and you'll be at the World
100%. Ellen and I have already talked about it. We're gonna have a good time. We're gonna go see places and have a good time with it. And look,
Excellent.
one of these days we'll have I'd love to have a show with you sometime, completely different about what we think, and not just you. We'll get some other people on and talk about what you were talking, because you mentioned it. I didn't want to bring it up, but the judges inconsistencies or whatever. I think I would love to talk about it. I would love to hear what you think and what I think and what other people think, because I think it's all good. I think it'd be a great show, a fun show. And by no means would I want to. I love judges. Without judges, we can't do anything.
Let me give you a teaser of what that conversation is going to be like, though. You put 6 barbecue guys around a picnic table and ask them what their favorite pizza is. It's all still pizza, but you're going to get 5 or 6 different answers. So you imagine if you put one pizza on that table and try to get all 6 of those people to be happy about it, because that's what we're doing in barbecue. And not only doing it once, we're doing it 4 times.
Right.
So it's an uphill battle. And I know that Tuffy Stone and I go back and forth about who said this first, but your goal is to offend no one.
100%.
And you want to put out amazing food, but it can't be too anything. It can't be too sweet, too salty, too hot, too anything. But please, 6 people on the same table. It's so hard to do, and then do it 4 times. And I know we do it, and I know some people do it really well, but I mean, that's going to be what I'm going to talk about. We talk about judging, because that's what it takes.
So let me ask you one thing, and then we'll end it. When I first started, everybody was like, hey, you got to give them that one bite that just wows that judge.
Yep.
Nowadays, it seems to be, it's not a how do you wow that judge. It's how do you make really good barbecue that doesn't offend anybody, that everybody likes.
You got to hit all your marks.
Yeah.
But you can't go over them, and you can't go under them.
Right.
And but Brian, you know, I hear stories where people say, oh, he wouldn't even be competitive. Not me. I'm not talking about me.
Right.
But they'll talk about somebody who used to be, one of the heavy hitters on the circuit, and they'll say, oh, he wouldn't even be competitive now. I think you'd be surprised. I know that there are new things and new ways and new trays new this and new that. But at the end of the day, it's still got to be good food. Yeah, it may affect your appearance score, but you still have to nail taste and tenderness. And we did it back then too.
Oh no,
that hasn't changed. So, but you're right. You do it all perfectly, but not too much of anything.
Right.
Offends no one.
And I think the other thing is when you're talking about some of the heavy hitters from before, they would have adjusted. If it wasn't the same, they were good enough cooks. They would have adjusted to fit right in and still win and still dominate and still be good. Like that's my take on it. A good cook is a good cook. So.
You said that, and an image of a person came to mind. His name is Bart Clark, and he was Twin Oaks Smoking Crew. And Bart was smart enough, and he was a great cook in his time. And then work got in the way, and he had to go to work and couldn't do this. He worked for the newspaper in a town in Oklahoma. But anyway, Bart would have adjusted. He doesn't cook anymore, of course. He would have adjusted. Some people hang on and they don't adjust. They just try to keep ramming those same recipes down these judges' throats, and you have to adapt. I'm not talking about from region to region. I'm just talking about over the years. You have to adapt.
That's great. Rod, you're the man. Thank you so much for everything. I appreciate you. Y'all have a great night, and we will see you next Monday on Chewin the BBQ Fat. Have a good one, everybody.
Thanks, Brian.
Mm-hmm.